Good evening, everyone. Welcome to all of you for this special session on integrated business solution paper. In this session, we will take a deep dive into the retail sector. This case study is based on retail sector with a specific focus on fast moving consumer goods and value retailing segments. This is a dynamic, innovation led, and increasingly regulated industry that especially impacts consumer behavior, supply chain strategy, and overall economic activity at domestic level as well as international level. Let me start by asking a simple question. Have you ever walked into a shop, seen something priced at rupees 99 and bought it just because it looked cheap, even if you didn't really need it? You are not alone. This behavior is exactly what the rupee 99 store industry is built upon. Across India, in high streets, metro stations, and even in small towns, we see stores that follow this specific format. Everything inside is priced at rupees 99 or sometimes rupees 199, 499, 599, 999. These are not just random shops. They follow a clear, deliberate business strategy. It's a deliberate business strategy. What is the rupee 99 store model? These store offers toys, accessory, kitchen items, household items. All all items are at a flat price. The idea is simple, very simple, is to attract customers through affordability and volume. Through affordability and volume. Some operate under non names like MRP 99, others are unbranded setups, and some even operate online. So, what type of approach or strategy they are using? This is a classic case of cost leadership. There are two types of strategies: product differentiation and cost leadership. They are using cost leadership as defined in Michael Porter's generic strategies. They focus on offering products at possible lowest possible cost, and they make profits through volume, not based on margins or profits. A traditional retailer may earn rupee 100 profit per item but sell only 200 units. A rupee 99 store may earn rupees 10 per item but may sell 5,000 items at the same time. That's 50,000 versus 20,000. It's a specific strategy that attracts customer. Today's case study is based on this model only. Now let us talk about another trick. It's a psychological pricing. Rup- Psychological pricing. Rupee 99 feels cheaper than rupees 100. Rupees 199 feels cheaper than rupee 200. It makes us believe we are saving money even though the difference is just rupee 1. It it's the same reason. products are often priced at rupees 499 instead of rupees 500 or rupees 999 instead of rupees 1000. These store focuses on turnover. I am repeating again and again, volume, turnover. The products are usually perishable or non-perishable. It's having non-perishable nature, unbranded. Okay, they are always bought in bulk, sold fast, replaced frequently. Why I am pressurizing these terminology? Because these are keywords. Okay, these are keywords and very useful when we determine supply chain of a product. Operations are lean. Okay, shops are small, staff is limited, and rent is always low. They source directly from low cost manufacturers, often in India, China, Bangladesh, okay, and even in Turkey. This links perfectly to what we study in your SCM paper, like target costing, cost, volume, profit analysis, etc., all in real action. You can see store like MRP 99 in Delhi, value 99 online, international formats like Miniso, which applies similar type of pricing logic. They have understood what their target customers want, what their target customers value. Low price, low price, fast access, and variety. But this model is not risk free. What if inventory doesn't sell? What if quality drives away from the customers? What to do in that case? To handle this, many store offers combo deals, seasonal sales, use social media marketing to attract customer footfalls. So next time when you walk into rupee 99 store, look beyond the cheap price tag. What you are really seeing is real world example of SCM, cost, psychology, and agile business execution. This case study integrate multiple concepts including accessible value as per rule 8, read with rule 3 and rule 10 of customs valuation, money market hedge strategies, section 14A of FEMA 1999, McKinsey's 7S framework, Section 161 of the Companies Act, Porter's Five Forces model, as well as India's 115 regarding revenue from contracts with customer. It is designed to promote higher order thinking. Okay, students, this case study we have already uploaded on BOS Knowledge Portal. Today's session will be interactive. You are encouraged to speak either in Hindi or and in English. Even you can write your query in chat box. Okay. We have kept last 15 minutes for your general subject related queries. Okay. And feel free to ask your query. Today we are privileged to welcome CA Sumit Dadda sir, a prominent chartered accountant with wide-ranging experience across sectors such as retail, consumer goods, and other industries. With deep expertise in audit, Sir brings a unique combination of academic insights as well as practical exposure. We are sincerely grateful to him for joining us today, for taking the time to guide and inspire the future chartered accountants. With that, let us begin. I now invite CA Sumit Dadda sir to lead us through this engaging business case. Sir, over to you. Hmm.
Hello. Hello. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Start करें?
Sir, yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. So, friends, before we start on this to understand, so today we are going to discuss about 99 rupees store, or we call it, which is very famous concept in foreign, is $1 store, £1 store, 1 yen store, 100 yen store. So these are called low price models. Now, can anybody give some background on these kind of stores? How can these kind of stores work out? Or what is the business model for these kind of stores? So when we have a $1 store or 99 rupees store, just quick thoughts. Any quick thoughts? What kind of business models we have on this? How does they run? So one is low cost provider. They sell on low price. That's their fundamental process. So to sell at low price, I need to buy at low price or lowest price. When I need to sell at lower price, my my supply should be at more lower price. So that's what I need to keep in mind. So my cost of purchase should be much more lower than that. Now, what are the what are the risks in this kind of business? What are the risks in this kind of business? Substantial losses. But why there will be losses when I'm buying at low price and selling at almost thin margin? Why there should be a substantial loss generally? I'm talking generally. Why any loss? Now, anybody visited these kind of stores? Anybody visited these kind of stores? Okay. So, Saminathan or Sanjay, when you visited these kind of stores, what is the difference between these kind of stores and stores like uh, uh, Reliance Retail or Big Bazaar that used to be? What is the difference between these kind of stores and that stores generally? Reliance Trends or what is the difference you see between these kind of stores? These kind of stores display the product price in large tags. Okay. Now, so first of all, let us understand the basics of this store. Okay. Now, when we say that they are selling at 100 rupees, 19 rupees, is this a better approach, or they would have done, or they should have done, keep price tag 200 rupees and give a 50% discount and say 50% discount today, take it at 100 rupees. Which more? will you think this model is good, or it is good to keep only at 99 rupees per se? Will it be same or will it be different if I put a price tag of 200 rupees and give a discount of 50% and say now take it at 100? Will that be will that be a same effect, or it does not add any value, or existing model is right at 100 rupees? Okay, so let me say it is a 199 and I give you 50% discount, 99.99 rupees. My question which I'm trying to understand, so 99 100, that point taken, that's a visibility, it's optically looks 99 looks better, and that's why you see Tata prices are always 99.99, right? Tata always used to have lesser, Tata prices should be always within full value. My question is, assuming instead of 99 rupees, can it happen I announce my price is 198, let me give you 50% discount today, and you get it at 99? Will Is it same model? Should I do that kind, or I should keep 99 rupees only? Mathematically, number is coming same. If I keep the selling price as 198, give a 50% discount and say 99, answer will be again 99. So when these models were made, when this business was made, a lot of debate happened on this. What should we do? Now, first you tell me, do we like to buy a higher value item at a lower when it is available at discount generally? Yes, no, maybe. So Chandan, later is better, right? Later is better. Generally, later is better. Generally. Okay. Now, now my question is, if I give you a discount daily, will you feel it as a discount or you will feel it as a marketing gimmick? Take example of Flipkart $1 billion sale or Amazon $1 billion sale. If they give discount every day, will you value that discount? Or if every day they are getting the $1 billion sale, you will assume that that's not a discount, that's a marketing gimmick. What do you think? Then you think it's a marketing gimmick. And that is the reason why they have not announced it like announcing 50 per 198 price and do a 50% discount. And that's why they say, because once you do that, so now when you put at 99 rupees, customer need not think twice before going to your store. He don't need to check whether there is a special offer today or not. He would know, okay, wherever I go in this shop, I will get a stock at 99 rupees. So mentally he will be fine with this number, and that's why he will always like to buy at this price. So at times, at times in a business, s- some things look simple. The example I gave you, like anybody, Mr. DIY, these kind of stores. So all these kind of stores are actually low cost item stores. So this is just to give us few perspective. Now, in this, when you the number of stock items are more or less as compared to normal stores. The number of products are more or less, they are very, very high as compared to other models, as compared to other business stores. They have very high number of SKUs. Why? Because these are low hanging fruits, lower item value. They want it quickly to move out, and they want to give a variety of things to customers. Generally, what kind of items you would be using, seeing them in these kind of stores? Generally, any quick thoughts? What kind of items generally you will see in these kind of stores? You will see items like something which are to be used on a daily basis, like gift items, toys, utensils, something which is a low value item but in demand. You will not find technical, typical high value items in this. You generally put item which is daily wear items. It could be so similar to this. We say like let's say like Zudio is like a $99 store. Example, in a textile, these are also the same model. So this 99 store dollar concept works on the basis of having those quantities, those stocks which are used in demand daily and which can be procured in various quantities, various designs, various colors. Normally, any idea which countries? So we all understand we need to sell at 99. So to sell at 99, I need to buy it at cheaper price generally. Okay. Where do you think I should buy? Generally, where do you think people buy? Generally, which countries do you think we buy from a supply side? Which countries we tie up? So China is the first country. So China is the first country where we buy. That is the most stable supply source in terms of volume and in terms of pricing. Apart from China, which are the other countries where they start? So the manufacturing is lowest at countries like China, Vietnam, Thailand, Bangladesh. These are certain countries where, due to advanced technology or excessive manpower supply, the cost of production is less, and that's why this people have a tie-up. Now, what is the biggest risk of the business? Like we know what happened with US. What is the biggest risk of these kind of suppliers? So in this kind of business, take example of Mr. DYI 99 store, Daiso, or any other stores which are on where we are depending on abroad. So first would be when the country puts a tariff, you cannot keep on passing the same price immediately to the customer. If I have kept as my dollar store at 99 rupees, but tomorrow Trump increase the tax, I cannot immediately increase the tax from 99 to 129. That would not be a right model because my business model will fail. So the biggest challenge comes is of any regulatory taxes will have the entire impact. Second, any fundamental increase in forex, FX gain. FX is not in my hands, but if the foreign exchange reserves changes, if the dollar price changes, the currency changes, any FX movement happens, the currency price moves higher up and there, it has a huge impact. That could be one of the impact. Can I control this part somewhere in terms of foreign currency risk? Can it be controlled somewhere? So I am actually in Lucknow in a low remote area, so it is showing unstable. That's why I just put off video. In terms of hedging, so hedging is one of the way where I can take a call of this. But is hedging involve some cost or does not involve a cost? Does hedging involve cost or it does not involve cost? It will save me money for sure, but it involves costs. So my margin gets shrinked. So we need to ensure when we are into these kind of business, we need to understand, okay, and we understand getting from China, Vietnam, Thailand, Bangladesh is fine. But then there is a risk. That risk is, see, I cannot control tariff risk because there you have no hedging for tariffs. Remain, it will remain. Any government can behave absurd, they can behave, it's their choice. But in terms of FX currency risk, I can save to some extent. I can put an hedging, it will involve cost, but at least I will safeguard my hedging. That can be done. Now, third risk could be, what could be the third risk? Any quick thoughts? What could be the third risk before this? So first risk we understand the government could put any taxes, tariffs. Second would be FX. What is the third risk which we know could happen, which we have seen in the past? Rare, but still possible. Situation like what happened in 2019, COVID, where your entire country is dependent on supply is dependent on one country, and for some reason, if the production stops in that country, my entire business model gets suffered. And that is the reason after COVID, a lot of foreign companies started exploring other countries simultaneously to have two line of services, two line of supply chain, so that if something happens in future, if one country stops, shut down for any reason, the other country can continue supply and the business can keep on going. So these are certain factors we need to keep in mind when we work on these kind of businesses. Because when we need to take a decision, it has to be a overall holistic decision. We cannot just look into I can make money by selling at 99, but you need to understand, yes, by 99, your margin will be low, volume will be very high. It will involve a very high volume, but a very low margin. But on the other hand, we need to see this, can it happen that once you start at 99, you can sell certain high production this? Can it happen that in a $99 store, I sell ₹1,000 item store expensive? So it will not work out. Any idea why it will not work out? You can try, but why it will not work out? Some another anything. So I understand it will not work out. Any reason why? Any reason why it will not work out? Generally, generally why it will not work out? Because what is the perception of the customer? You are a cheap price store or a quality conscious store giving a heavy quality goods. What do you think?
Yes,
Customer
sir.
will
The
treat you.
reason is that, yes, sir, the customer, as a customer, because of that 99 is displayed, that is the reason only we are going there. The low variety of items will be there. So thought of going. If suddenly if they're increasing the price, which means that okay, we can move to the regular store like Reliance brand, other supermarket or any hypermarket like that, Dmart like that. Okay, we can go there. The trend immediately will change actually.
Absolutely. And when you going for a $99 store, 99 rupees or a $1 store, do you expect the product to run very long or you expect the product to run very short? Theoretically, what is your
Very
expectation?
short only, sir.
Very short. So you don't expect a
Expectation
long-term
maybe
quality.
yeah.
Absolutely. So you know that so as a customer, when I'm paying a low price, I expect a low quality. That's the expectation. So I'm looking for a short type, stopgap arrangement. Okay, for short time. So this kind of stores work. Your so if you ever go to China or you ask somebody who works in China for products, so in certain places, China gives uh, various levels. Okay, we need to manufacture this product lower the quality because we need to sell to DIY or $1 store. So there you can lower the quality and still maintain the margin. Because if I give a quality, if I give you a leather purse, I will not be able to sustain the market because minimum. Any idea how much margin you think one should have in this kind of business generally? In 99 dollar rupee store or $1 store, how much margin generally the owner should make generally? Then it's worth to be in the business. 2 to 3%. When you're saying 2 to 3%, is top margin or bottom margin? On a gross level or a net profit level, 2 to 3%. Jeff, what do you think?
Net profit.
It's bottom. And what about on the top? On the top, how much you think on the top? Gross margin around 10%. So generally 20 to 25% is the gross margin expected generally. Then only there is a moat for him to work around. Then there is more to work around. And bottom line would be 2 to 3%, because if it's a volume is huge, then 2 to 3% is also a good number. But if it is 10, it will not sustain, because 10 would be a very, very low number to have that. eh, because your cost of staff would be there, your rental cost would be there, many other costs will be there which may not be able to work out in this small margin. And that's why I need to maintain a sustainable margin of 20 to 25%. Therefore, I need to ensure that quality of cost of production should be always controlled. That's what generally I need to keep in mind intact. That's what they keep in control generally. Now, let us take some examples of quick understanding of GST. Now, what challenge you find in GST in such kind of business model? In GST, any challenge related to GST you find in such kind of business model? Let's say there is a business like this, $99. What issue will come generally in GST? What challenge you will find in GST from GST department generally? Suppose you are making a huge sales every month, you are making a sale of 1 crores movement of goods between branches. Okay, that's one. So you need to be very sure on proper documentation. You cannot say it's mine. So that is one. Movement of goods between branches. That's one. Which is what is the other, some more points which department will generally do not like it. You will be having input credit balance positive always, or you'll be paying GST by cash, or you'll be always adjusting against the input credit. What do you think? In your balance sheet, will you always have input tax credit balloon up, or you'll be paying cash liability? What do you think? Think you will have ITC in positive. Now we understand, common sense wise, we understand if I sell an item of 100 rupees, and assuming I need to pay 18 rupees assuming it 18 is a GST, 18% on that. So I'm selling an item of 100 rupees, 18 is a GST on this. Either I could pay cash GST 18, or if I have an input tax credit, I can adjust from that I can do that. Does department also have the same view that it is fine you pay in any of the way, or department prefers you pay in cash generally? And I'm talking practical problems with that comes in. Practically, when you go to department, he'll be okay that okay, you pay everything in ITC, or he says you should pay in cash because my budget is not meeting up. You're buying from another state and you're not getting it here. My state is not getting revenue. You're using all in ITC. So department, though we understand you're actually offsetting your liability, but department will push you to pay taxes. Because one of my friends, they work with certain big companies like we call it Amazon, Flipkart, and all. They work on GST matters. So these companies always have their ITC in positive, or certain companies who sells on these websites. So they, because in a trading company where you have a lot of quantity as a stock, there will always be a there will always be a ITC credit available in the books. And every time it will be ballooning up because your business is going to continue always. So no way it will come a position that it will go down. So the more you become big, the more stock you'll be keeping it at different places, the more ITC input credit will be there. And the department will always generally have a problem with this generally. So they always question and make your life tough. Now, so generally what happens in these kind of businesses for products, they generally like toys or like auto tools, like where which can be used for garage tools or any such tools. They all are used from imports based from China. But certain items like which are consumable items, they are used from local distributors. So they buy it from local distributors. And have anybody heard the name of Deal Share? Anybody heard the name of Deal Share? Anybody would have heard or seen Deal Share? It's like a grocery shop aggregator. They also work like in the typical model of 99 rupees where they sell items in a very low volume because that's what they make a. So the remedies, what they say is somewhere else, what they say that okay, you at least deposit some amount so that we can show to our commissioner that we have collected ITC in cash because of their budget. Again, that's a logical argument what they are doing, but then we need to deposit some item. Let's say 10% you deposit now, and then can take a refund later on or credit later on. Because that's what in practical they always disturb the client saying that I we need to see some cash generally. Because otherwise they will say that you are doing some hanky panky business in invoices. That's what their mindset is. Now, anything else you have in your mind on this kind of business which you can think of? Okay. Now, when you see these kind of business on textiles, let's say when they sell clothes, these clothes are branded clothes or these are white labeled clothes? What do you think?
White labels, not
You will
branded.
always
The price is less.
you will always find them white labeled clothes. They will not be branded items. Because when white label clothes, you can always manage the price, always. But in a branded, the brand will not allow you to sell at lower price. Because if you sell at a lower price than the brand, you will damage the market. And that's why at many places you are not allowed to go below a certain price because the brand gets impacted. So similarly here you make a local product, white label product. What are the general major costs of this business when you talk of costing? So the first is we just touch base is inventory procurement, where you are buying, that is the biggest cost. That's the first cost. Second cost would be logistic and warehousing, where you need to keep. First, storing this would be a huge challenge because you need to store somewhere which is a lesser quantity. That is one. So storing is always one part. Second, rentals would be huge because you need to keep a lot of stuff and the area would be 3000 square feet to at least 10,000 square meter. That's a bare minimum area. So rentals would be always high generally. And then there will be employee salaries. Is it a labor intensive or it is a AI driven business? What do you think?
This is not a AI-driven process. Only the employee
It's a
physically
labor
needed.
incentive. It's a labor incentive intensive business. And at times, if there is no sales guy standing near to you, you will not feel good. You'll say, "Oh, I'm here. Nobody's willing to show me. I want somebody to show." Because this is a product where there will be more than 3,000 line items, 3,000 SKUs. It will be huge stock. So you need someone to from their staff to guide you and tell you what is there. And then apart from employee salaries, because this is there, there'll be a shrinkage, wastages, because maybe due to wear and tear, due to time, if you're not buying. So at times, have you seen at times it happens where uh, when uh, when you when a textile people makes a clothes, they make clothes in all sizes, from small, medium, large, XL, and all this all making. So normally, when you go for buying, if you ever go to buy on Shopper Stop or Pantaloons or such kind of stores on discount, do you find sizes of all kinds of shirts or trousers available, or
Y-
certain sizes generally you do not find because these are in huge demand? So
Yes,
you
sir.
will
They will
find.
have from small to all the level they will have. In the certain type of item, sometime may not be there because the bulkly they will somebody will purchase it.
So, like for example, double XL or extra large will be, you'll find a lot of available because those people may not be coming to buy much. But common size like medium, small, large would be generally used faster. That so then there will be a lot of shrinkage and wastages. Then theft is one of the most common problem of these kind of business, because if the item is small, I can easily put it in my pocket and take it out. Difficult to put in checkout. Can I put systems like what we used to have in like Reliance or other trends, where you take an item out, the alarm shows started beeping at the reception. Can we do it here? We can't because
No,
that's
sir, it's not
expensive.
possible because the huge line item items.
Huge line item, and it is expensive, and the size is small. It can work only on garments, but not cannot work in such kind of other products. So that is not possible. So this kind of thefts and all is a huge challenge. But the other positive side of this business, the positive side of this business as compared to others, will they have a fancy showroom mall, or they will have a very plain vanilla minimal decor wall? Unlike unlike bigger malls like Pantaloon, Big Bazaar, who will pump and show, they will not have a bigger mall. They will have a small decor, medium decor, plain vanilla, so that cost will not be much incurred. Mostly, you will find their standardized layout. Just like when you go to these kind of stores, you'll always find standardized layout, same everywhere. That's a general standard where you go everywhere. The the store format is also simple. They don't do much. Now, when you go and see these kind of stores, there is always a way when at the billing counter, do they keep toys and chocolates nearby at the billing counter, or some tempting things
No,
that you'll
sir.
be forced to buy? So
No,
this
sir.
is not a
It's very rare.
so this is not a store like Lulu or Big Bazaar where kids comes generally. Within this stores, kids, you don't have much items to eat, so kids do not come. So in this they keep that's their biggest challenge, to sell the inventory, because they don't have a hook. Their only hook is 99 rupees, and because of 99 people who comes it, and they keep buying. And generally, who buys? Ones who buy want to buy in a large quantity for birthdays, or somebody is having a shop in low area. There you buy. Okay. And there is a at time there are the customers who want to have a treasure hunt of finding new items at 99 rupees. The customer feel very excited to find on a 99 rupees same different items, because for some sector of customers 99 may be a too small value, but for some level, which is a poor level or lower income level, 99 is also a big spending. And if they can get a brand new item at 99, they cherish that. That's why they try to keep going on there and buy in bulk. uh, just a second. Okay. One of the best part is they always have uh, they always have a credit period is zero generally. They don't give credit to the customers. It's always cash business. That way they can work it. The can we the brand perception is always a big challenge, because when there is any impact on the brand, entire business model gets impacted. So let's say when I'm saying I'll be selling something at 99 rupees, let's say somewhere you find out that we could procure this item at 49 rupees. What do you think then? I'll give example of digital signatures. So we all know digital signatures, DSCs, right? Almost every office uses DSC. So right now, let's say DSC is coming, let's say at X rupees, let's say to the cost of getting a DSC is at X rupees, including and all. Do you know from where we got this manufacturing? The tokens and all, from where we get it? Any idea from where we buy this? It's from China. Absolutely. We buy these DSCs from China at a 100th price. The kind of token price and all. It's a very, very cheap price. So I was discussing with somebody who works in these kind of business. I asked why we can't meet this in India. They say we can't beat that pricing, because the pricing which comes in China, it is coming at 9 or 10 rupees for that one token, and including this. In India, it will not come less than 110 or 120 because of the volumes and other things. So because of this, because of uh, this, once you come to know that there is some place where you can get it cheaper, that has a huge impact on this brand. So they need to always ensure that the sourcing does not come out. And the reason why I'm saying this, even if you go to China and you meet the guy who make this DSC and you say, okay, I want to buy, you give me, they will not sell you. Why they will not sell you? Because the Indian businessmen have put a one-sided agreement with them that you cannot sell to anybody from India territory. Whatever price they give, you have entered a long-term contract with us that we will only buy from you. We are the only, we are the master distributors for your product. You cannot sell to anybody for India perspective. That's why they saved their brand. Otherwise, if we all start going to, if we know where is the source, we all can go and buy from there and make and get a cheap price. I'm sure you all would have heard that kind of memes when iPhone was getting coming in India and it was coming very expensive, and then there used to be a WhatsApp message going around. You go to Dubai and buy from Dubai, stay 2 days, still it will be still cheaper to buy from Dubai because of low taxes. When we all know where I can get a lower source, we all will go there to buy it for a longer purpose. So this is the challenge. They need to always ensure that their supplier does not sell it to anywhere else. Yeah. In India, generally we have foreign companies like Miniso, Daiso, 99 Store, Nysa Retail, Mr. DYI. These are certain kind of business models who work on this. They generally sell millions of units, but the margins are very, very low, because then only the people will come to you. Their best deal is to buy in a bulk. So if I have 10 stores in India, I will club the demand of 10 stores and then buy. You all would have heard the power of bulk buying. Again, just off context example, we are talking of small items. I'm giving a big item. Can we 100 people club and say that go to Mercedes and say, we'll buy Mercedes, 100 Mercedes, I'll give you offer, give me a 10% discount or 20% discount? What do you think? Possible, not possible? Heard, read something about this recently somewhere. So, bulk buying can always make you a good deal, always. Before that, it was done by Videocon Group in 2013 or 14. They bought 100 BMWs at a discount price. So power of, so what did Mr. Venugopal did at that time? He clubbed all businessmen of Maharashtra and say, okay, you want to buy BMW, I also want to buy BMW. Let us make a cartel. So 100 people went to BMW office and say, I'll give you 100 orders. give me a 20% discount. And if I am getting 100% bulk order, my cost of, so then immediately the management gave it quickly. So, so when I need to buy a lot, you need to ensure that if you have offices in, if you have branches in 10 different cities, you have bulk buying, so you get a better opportunity and better pricing command. Then only you make the money. So penny saved is penny earned in this kind of business model. Okay. Now let me quickly run on this. So given an example here, it works on the name of Daily Mart. Daily Mart, like when we have a concept called DMart, it is not like DMart, but uh, how come DMart also started going on in India by lower items, right? Because we will be getting the best item at the cheapest price. That's what the expectation is. So if you go to visit DMart, you will always find a bulk offers, bulk deals at a cheaper price. And how they will afford similar like power of discount. Have you heard a name called Great Eastern? Great Eastern. That one sells fridge, TV, ACs. That's again appliance store. Again, how do they buy? How do they make margin? They go to bulk deal, go to Samsung, go to LG. They go directly to manufacturer and place order for entire India inventory at one point of time, and that's why they get a good deal. So that's how you need to ensure that cost can be controlled. Uh, the example which we are going to discuss, the case study which we have gone through. So Daily Mart is the fixed price discount retail chain, which generally sells at 99 rupees. Every product at 99, and every country. So I've traveled probably 7, 8 countries in last 3 years for various purpose. Wherever I've gone, in almost all countries, you will find there would be some product like this. Whether you call it Malaysia, whether you take it Indonesia, they have this kind of products with them. So they, according to their local currency, they put one price. Whatever you pick in this, it will be 99. So one of the best part of this kind of business model is you don't need to ask the shopkeeper again and again what's the price. Here, in case of a normal store, you need to ask and check price every time. But here, everything is 99 or specific dollars. This kind of business model works on standardized good, unbranded items, undifferentiated items, where you cannot differentiate this good, this bad. Every quality is same. These are not branded. This company used to buy from almonds from California. They source from multiple small suppliers. That's why you keep your business model live. And Dairy Mart is the key customers for these suppliers. Similarly, I was giving an example of DealShare, and DealShare is one of the startups. So what do they do? They go to respective cities and choose one of the best suppliers, and then they sign an agreement with them that every year I'll give you this kind of business opportunity. I'll buy this kind of business numbers, this kind of quantity. You need to produce only for me. So they become a captive consumption for them, and then they control their cost. It is similar to like McDonald's. If you're aware, McDonald's do a pre-lease sign for the potatoes. So McDonald's enter into agreement with certain farmers that I will buy McDonald's from your farm only, but you need to grow for me only at a certain quality, certain quantity, certain specification with certain kind of pesticides and certain kind of uh, uh, manures you need to feed. So that way you need to protect your quality chain. They will always have a lower profit margins. Their overheads, the more nominal they remain, then only they make money. The, their strategy is to target lower income group or mid income group. They don't expect HNIs to come to their store and buy. They expect a people for whom 99 is a very good number to buy. They like to come there. So their target advertisement sector is different. This is a value for money where customer do not even feel cheated if it does not work long, because he knows he's buying at a throwaway price of 99. So if the product gives utility for some period, he's fine. Affordability and utility is the most important factor in this. Now, the company intends to reduce the cost by going into technology. Now, if you cannot increase your sales, the another way to make your money would be to reduce your expenses. Like take example of Amazon warehouse. Now in Amazon warehouse, any idea how many orders we'll be getting a day? Approximately. Approximately, let's say take example of Amazon Mumbai warehouse. Let's say hypothetically Amazon Mumbai warehouse. How many orders you'll be getting generally? And I'm just talking random number. You need to give me exact number. Now, assuming let's say hypothetically, let's say 1 lakh orders per day. Assuming let's say 1 lakh orders per day, or around a lakh order, like almost we are saying the same, or let's say 50-20K orders per day, and we are talking only one store. Let's say we are talking of Maharashtra Mumbai store. How much then do you think if I put a manual labor to go to the store, collect the item, pack it, will that involve a lot of cost? Or McDonald or now Amazon has applied a technology where a robot picks the stuff and pack it automatically. What do you think? Which is the most cheaper approach? The one. So we know you. I'm sure you all would have seen the videos and all. Now that they all are deploying robots at most of the places to avoid, because robot will not take a cigarette break also, right? He will not take a lunch break and all that way. Because once you put a manual labor person, it will take a lot of time and a lot of efforts. Your cost would be there. So they realize this is going to be a mandate job, so they need to reduce the cost. So that's why they go into technology. Similarly, here they also want to go into technology, that I can only reduce the cost to protect my margins, because sales I cannot be increased. So I need to ensure we focus on technology where we can increase productivity and minimize wastage. One of the minimized wastage would be minimum order quantity, or when to order. So you should reorder the stock at the right time, where you make an assessment that when you're going to finish the stock, and so you don't overbuy it or you don't underbuy it, just in time. Absolutely. So if you buy at this point of time, so you save working capital and save money both together. So they thought, so they bought 4 machines from Japan, so for home consumption, so that they can use those machines for printing, labeling, packaging. Because the items are huge, so if they used to get it from outside done, it's expensive. And in these kind of machines, if you have better machines, it can be much faster because the product volumes are high and you can't afford to do an error in that. The benefit would be production process streamlined, manual labor is not dependent, wastages are minimized, your cost efficiency and process accuracy becomes better, because when you have technology, error reduces mostly. We bought this from Japan, and we bought based on the certain cost material we got. So in Japan, we got it from yen. So the costing is coming on 1500 yens, 300, other expenses 90, 150, 60, and these insurance we don't know till we come to India. So total approximately coming 21,000 yen. That's what we are buying. Now, when I need to do accounting for buying, what price I should take? The day on bill of entry or the date of arrival of vessel? What do you think, which price is to be taken according to you? When I did an import and I'm getting a product,
The later of the filing of bill of entry or date of arrival of vessel.
which one will be later generally?
Bill of
Bill of
entry.
entry.
Bill of
Bill of entry will be always after the arrival.
Yes, generally, yes.
So should I take the day my vessel comes to India or the day I'm filing bill of entry?
Bill of entry in
So,
that case.
so the government has clarified you need to take on the bill of entry. Okay. Now, which exchange rate should I take? Like, have you ever used xe.com for checking dollar rate or any rate generally? When you Google, do you Google at times to find out the dollar rates or any foreign currency rate at times?
Yes,
Yeah. So which one we should take?
CBIC in this case.
CBIC. And the government has given that 22 countries direct rates are given in the CBIC. Others can be computed from there so that you can pay. Now, this RBI FIBIL is for some other purpose, for this banking purpose, for your bookkeeping and for customs purpose, take the CBIC rate. Now, this Daily Mart aims to, we discuss. Okay. Now, the management said, let us apply McKinsey framework. Like every business has some frameworks. They follow Michael Porter framework. Five forces of framework is supposed to be one of the good frameworks. Here, the management say apply 7C's, 7S framework. So in 7S framework, they have seven frameworks. Some are internal skills, some are soft skills, some are hard skills, some are easy to change, some are not easy to change. Now the CEO said, okay, I can apply this framework, but how do we ensure? How do we ensure that these are implemented and we can ensure that people are following it? So how to ensure that KPIs are followed? So these are generally 7S: structure, strategy, systems, shared value, skills, style, and staff. Which one you think is easy to change for a management? Out of these seven frameworks, which
Staff,
one you think all seven or something is not in management hands? So generally, they say management can always focus on strategy. Management can make structure, can make systems. But something which management cannot do, the skills will be of particular staff. If a staff has no aptitude to work, you cannot. What style he works, you cannot. So these all factors are employee dependent, which you cannot change. These three are organization dependent. Organization can change as and when they want. They can put money in it. Now they put a challenge in 2023-4 that align all the elements to support change, drive performance. Use 7S so that all cross-functional department alignment comes. Process and people can be balanced. Just a second. CEOs wanted to understand, can we align 7S and can we align with the KPIs? Normally, when you guys will become professionals and join any organizations, either be it MNC audit firms or Big Ten audit firms or any corporates, every year you will have your appraisal done. Every year your job will be appraised that how you did last year, how much you need to grow and all. In this, there will be certain KPIs, there will be certain job factors given to you that okay, during the year you need to ensure you need to do good audits, you need to do trainings, you need to do certain kind of sales. So based on your KPIs, you are valued. You may would have spent 18 hours in office, but if you do not fulfill these KPIs, nothing matters. You spend only nine hours a day in office, meet the KPIs, it's a different story. So they need to ensure that. So management wants to ensure, the CEO wants to understand, can this 7S model work on low margin, high volume retail? Because the margin is low, but the volume is high. Can it work out? So the proposed solution which was given them, okay, let us conduct our diagnostic workshops across the table. Everybody should understand why we are calling this 7S, how it will impact value. It cannot be isolated from every employee. Every employee should understand, from director to CFO to all persons. Map it out. What is the current position and what is the desired position, where we are today and where we want to go. That will help out. Make a balanced scorecard to link KPIs and integrate automation benefits under systems and skills so people can relate the value of it. MD concern was that people learn process based on frameworks, and according to him, there is an overlap between system and skills that need to be followed. And you need to understand that whether the 7S, can it give efficiency in the operations. So every stakeholder will have certain questions before accepting it. Any idea why they ask these kind of questions initially? Because they are answerable to the management for the cost going to be incurred for applying those programs. So that's why they need to ask first. So normally 7S can complement lean method. So there is a lean method, lean business style. What does the lean business style means? That lean business style means that you work on a very thin model, where you don't work on a pyramid based model where the structure is too heavy. You work on a very thin model. So audit firm works on a lean model, or their inverse pyramid model. What do you think? They work on a lean model, audit firms generally, or pyramid model they work. What do you think? So they always work on a pyramid model because kind of nature of the business. But if you see boutique investment firms, boutique advisory firms, they work on a lean model or big model. They work on a lean model because the kind of business is such that you don't need a huge stuff for that. So they say, let us ensure systems are based on automation maximum. If you ensure these automations comes in, it will be saved a lot. Now, what the management concluded to apply 7S is, let us do a 7S audit, identify misalignments, define target dates for each of the S, align automation strategy, system skills, involve top management and leaders, and then track employees' efficiency and KPIs to ensure that you are following it up. In an organization, it is always important to give timely feedback. You cannot come at the last year and say, you did not perform well, now I'm getting you thrown out of the company. That ideally should not work. If somebody is not performing, you need to track and inform in between so he can improve. And 7S is not always a replacement, it is an add-on tool. So for ensuring that workplace is aligned, it is just a system to add. Now the management realized that our neighbor countries are also having a similar business model like this. So in a Bangladesh, we have a similar business model of 99 rupees. But due to economic downturn, due to various issues in Bangladesh, the business is not working well, and there is a uncertainty in those areas. But there had been a lot of businesses similar to the Daily Mart model. So there are a few companies like Retail 99, Club Basket 99, Daily Shopping, Quick Buy, which is almost in the same business model. But some have different differentiation of product base. Some have a differentiation on daily items, but they all are 5+ years in this industry. Now, Daily Mart can consider to acquire something to have a bigger business model and bigger demands. So Daily Mart thinks it's a new business market opportunity in new country because 99 pricing model, if it is working in India or any country, then other countries it will also work. And but when you go to other country, we need to ensure my 99 rupees in India may not be the same 99 rupees in Bangladesh. It may have different numbers. We need to work out whether we can fit in. We need to ensure whether they have any barriers chain to enter into that country, supply chain or leverage that need to ensure. The revenues of these kind of startups were coming 22 crores, 21 crores, and 14 crores. Generally, a Bangladesh company. What they observed was that despite the economic downturn, market expansion was steady. Any idea why, despite the economic downturn, market expansion was going steady? Why it does not have impact much? Because the items are very low product. These are not luxury items, which has an impact. Those are low value item. That's why it does not have impact on economic downturn. Because people will, when they, it is not a big amount. People need to think twice before spending it. So these are here. Had it been an automobile sector in the economic downturn, automobile sector would not have worked then because commitment is huge. Here it is only a small commitment. So I'll skip the theoretical part so we can skip. Now, this kind of business model will work on where you have store located more in cities or more in rural areas. Where do you think? Should be concentrated or should be deconcentrated? Where do you think if I need to be successful in running a $99 store, where should be I spending more? Should I have centers in cities or mix or more in rural areas? So the more rural areas you have it, the more sales will be more. The more you have in cities or educated background places, people will be a challenge to you then. Then they start trying to find out alternates and try to get more cheaper. Do you agree that as a human psychology, I will be if I'm getting something at 99 and I can get a chance to get it 89, I will attempt to go for 89. I'm getting a 99 without any push. But if I do some more push, I may get 89. I will still try to go that. So the more and more you try to save, it gives you a dopamine effect that okay, have done the best deal, you are the smartest guy in the town, you are having a much more deal better than that. So therefore, that is the reason why you need to ensure because in village people may not be that aggressive in terms of discounting because of lack of awareness and lack of opportunities. So that way, this company has a lot of opportunities in villages and streets. So that way, you can always and wherever it is economic distress region, you can easily have more and more sales there. So where there is economic distress region where the certain regions are not working, you can have a better opportunity there in terms of sales. Again, these kind of stores are depending on rentals. If you take it in a high city, posh area, the rentals will kill the business. You cannot have high rentals in this. So that we need to fix land leases generally for long term period. Generally, uh, generally the leases are fixed for a long period. I'll give an example of hotel industry. When somebody invests money in on the land, let's say Taj wants to open a hotel in your town. Any idea how much for how many years they do an agreement? Generally, generally.
20 to 25 years.
So minimum they do 9+9. That's the bare minimum. They do 9 years minimum fix, and again 9 extension mandatory on their part. So they generally keep 18 years as minimum, so that they can conclude the price does not go exceeding and the property remains in their control. So they fix the prices today also for next 18 years. So otherwise, if in a hotel industry the landlord keeps on increasing rental income every year, hotel cannot sustain like this. Similarly, in these kind of business models, you need to keep lower cost. So the capex fixed asset should be lower so that it should not impact you. The cash flow should not be bleeding. Just a second. Now, the DMart they held to announce that they'll be opening more stores. We want to have a setup national-wide presence. They're doing a digital marketing. Tell people where are we coming next. Now, what would be beneficial of this? Once I start this, when an Indian company set up an office in Bangladesh, which is existing 99 store there, and do a tie-up, it gives me a strategic advantage. It gives me early mover advantage. That okay, one country, one company having both offices in both the countries and selling, and you have a different customer segment and different product would be coming in. And this way your capturing of market is much faster. Inorganic growth we call it. So before they wanted to close the deal, they wanted to get an assessment done of the brand. That what is the brand of Bangladesh digital market among there are many stores. What is the relevant value of us? That we are trying to get it down. Simple part. Now, financially, the revenue was 24 crore rupees. They are leasing multiple stores, so they have healthy cash reserves. Brand positioning in the new market would be inquired a lot. Now, if they really want to work somewhere different, they need to ensure that somebody is having a proper supplier selection and evaluation. That's the most key business. I'm sure the businessman will ensure this part he do not miss it, because the purchase is the most difficult part, because once the money goes out of your hand, nothing can be done. So that need to be ensured. They ensured that when we are having this kind of multiple branches, inventory distribution has to be very, very controlled. Logistics need to be ensured that logistics do not get impacted. Should be done only by the respective team. And nowadays we have GPS driven technologies to ensure supply chain tracking is ensured. Money is not getting stuck. The goods are not getting stuck anywhere. So this setting up will be a strategic implication move for them, because then it will be having a competitive advantage. We can leverage on the basis of customers or demand supply. If that can be given to investor and we can conclude that. To grow the business better, he will make a dedicated team for each sector. For retail operations, separate team, supply chain, separate team, fixed asset, separate team, marketing strategy, separate team, technology, separate team that can be taken. The leadership has to be proactive so that they can think, they can take actions before somebody tells them to take action. They also understand that we need to enter into development R&D skills. If we do not develop R&D skills, it will not help you to grow. Now, the management thought that now they should focus on daily March performance by ensuring market challenges are ensured, emerging opportunities are taken, we do not skip anything, and ensure they have a strong market presence in retail space. And that can happen only when you have a culture, a teamwork. Once you once you do a business expansion, your supply chain becomes strong and you can easily do 10 different things. And that's why expansion always help because of your big network. That will always help you. Now, now they had additional director Ms. Ambika, which has been appointed to strengthen the governance static inside. We have one director, Mr. Dera. He was appointed for 6 months. He went for abroad for 6 months for a short-term duration course. And Mr. Doon, alternate director, Ms. Dera. He is appointed as an article of duration Mr. Dera's absence. Recent changes to the board. So, how long can an alternate director remain in a company? Suppose I appoint someone as an alternate director. How long he can stay in the company? He can stay in the company forever or as an alternate director till the next date for that year.
I
You cannot
think
stay.
3 months.
So generally till the year end he stays. Till that board meetings till that year end he says. After that he has to convert into it. Now they are having a thought, do we go for opening grocery stores also? Now they want to leverage that if people will come to buy our office to buy small items, we can also sell grocery to them. That can also be done. So that way you have a backward integration. Customers will be always coming in. Their competition, their thought process was that we can open a supermarket and we can have an interbrand, which we can work on interbrand. Supermarket would be work like just like example of Zudio, Westside, Zara. Similar way, this way we can have small chain items and mid size or a different interbrand. Now, most of the supermarkets offer home delivery. So in case they will also offer product to home delivery. But then the delivery charges goes from 25 to 50 rupees, which is their cost. This is generally given for elderlies, households, professionals, and consumers in remote areas. So they need to use the technology to ensure that product does not go anywhere or that it will be taken care. And we all know now digital presence has to be very important to ensure that you can sell your product well. Any delivery you take it in India, ideally you should have a digital presence. Ideally, then only you can ensure a bigger markets will come. Now we'll go for case studies here that they got a. So before we go to case studies, let us take a 5-6 minutes comfort break. It's 1954, 7:54. Come back at 8 o'clock. We will take a 6 minutes comfort break. Okay. So now this Daily Mart has made purchases from abroad, and we know when we make a purchase from abroad, we have a FEMA compliances need to be ensured. So they made a deal, and to some extent it breached the limit. And when you breach the limit, then there is a there is always when you purchase, there is always a currency risk. The weakening rupee can always increase your cost. The more rupee weakens, the more you need to pay. So here they have become a FEMA violation and they receive a penalty proceedings. So the managing director receives a penalty proceedings that since you have executed certain transactions beyond permissible limits. So like for example, in a year, I can transfer $100,000, $250,000 as LRS, or for certain business, there's certain limits. If you cross those limits more, then without taking prior approval of RBI, then they put a penalty on the organization. So here the threshold got breached and they got a penalty order. Now they also need to understand they got followed Ind AS. So now need to understand on revenue recognition. So Ind AS applies on Daily Mart. Now they need to understand as per Ind AS 115 revenue, the revenue will be recorded when control is transferred to the recipient. Now they need to ensure that did we fulfill our performance obligation fully, and revenue cannot be recognized till uncertainty is over returns. Like for example, what happens? Have you seen ads like take our product and if you're not happy with the usage, return it, send it back, it will be fully returned. What do you think? Have you seen those kind of ads where new person coming new in the business gives this kind of offers that take a new product? So what do you think? Let's say I give this offer that you purchase from me, use our product, and if you do not like it, return in within 3 months, everything will be refunded, no question asked. So now, when do you think I can recognize my revenue? What do you think? See, now you cannot tell me. Sorry, please go ahead. Is it only I who cannot hear Samay properly, or because I'm in a very low area, so maybe my network is issue, or everybody else is also not able to hear him?
Goods like DSA.
Okay. Okay. So now what happens here? Is what does the standard says? What does the standard says? If there is a past, if I'm a regular company, I'm having this kind of scheme in the past, and based on my past data, you can say that I sell 100 items and 20 comes refund. So I have a ratio of 20%, 20% goods coming back. So I can make a revenue of 80%, book a revenue of 80 items, and 20 I can put on hold. 20 I will not book a revenue because there is an obligation where I may need to repay. It will be like goods and on approval, something like that. So that revenue may not hit in. Okay. But for a new business, what will you do for a new business where you don't have any past data? So let's say I send one item, 1 lakh rupees item to you, saying that you have a right to return in 2 months. You can return back in 2 months. What should we do then? And I will ask no questions, full money will be refunded. So can we book, or can I need to postpone till 2 months? Because you have a blanket right to refund, refuse to pay back anytime. What do you think? What is your view? So the standard Ind AS 115 says you cannot book a revenue where you have a refund policy. You need to keep it whole. But where you have a past data, no, it is not on credit. No, it's not on credit, Sanjay. It's not on credit. You have paid me the money. So it is like uh I sold you a item saying that you pay me 100 rupees, I'll sell this item to you. But if you're not happy with the product, return any point of time in 3 months. So you have 3 months time to return the product. It's my first sale of the company. So cash is realized. I received the cash from you. I sold the product to you. But you have a right to send the product anytime back to me. I will not ask you a question. It is different from sales return. Sales return is when sale has been concluded, and then after that he comes to you and saying something else that product did not fit my product did not match my requirement, quality issue, and all that way. That is a different sales return. Here you have given him a condition that goods can be returned any point of time without being asked. Then the standard Ind AS 115 says that record revenue only when you have that period gets over. When he don't have a chance to refund unconditionally. Okay. So this is something adjustments need to be done. Okay. So revenue cannot be recognized due to uncertainty over returns. Common sense wise, this does not look right. Common sense wise, and that's why what did the standard say? If you have a past data, based on that percentage, do that. Assuming, have you seen these kind of ads where somebody sends creams, oils like this, grow your hair oils, take this. If it is not happy, you don't find the results, send it back. We'll give you full money. Or let's say, take for example, I say you know, I'll give you a tuition. If you're not happy, full money will be refunded. Just join me. This kind of schemes. So in this kind of schemes, it is very difficult. Uh, there is always uncertainty. Now, if I do not book any income, also may not be the right way. But then what does the standard say? See the past percentage. If you have past data available, based on those data, book a certain income that way. Here in our case, since it's a first sale, then we will not book it because there's always an uncertainty over returns. Like, for example, he has a right to return the product within 90 days. Right to return. That means I have a right to return. So they are doing a sale with Max Retail, and Max Retail has a right to return the product in 90 days. Product is entirely new, and DMart has no history of similar sales. So we can't estimate returns reliably. Had I would have some estimate, we could have estimated returns reliably. Here we can't. So what does Ind AS 115 says? Revenue recognition must be deferred until the return period expires, or sufficient data becomes available to make reliable estimate. So as I mentioned, in our case, it was a first product. We don't have past history, so we cannot have a sufficient data to make a reliable estimate. After 3 years, when we are selling this product regularly, then we have a sufficient data to determine how many people refund, how many people percentage comes in. Based on that, we can do that. In the first year, we need to defer the recognition of revenue because the return period is always open. Till the 90 days, the refund period is there. Till the time I need to get it done. Okay. Now, say for example, consideration is I'm selling goods worth 1 lakh rupees. Okay. I'm telling her that you pay me after 24 months. 1,21,000 rupees. So let's say I'm selling a product. If I sold at cash, I would have asked 1 lakh rupees. But I'm giving you a credit of 2 years. And say after 2 years, you give me 1,21,000. In that case, what I need to do in this case? In this case, this is a separate transaction. We are selling somebody at, for 2 years credit, I'm asking him to give him 1,21,000 after 2 years. Had I would have paid in cash, I would have asked him 100,000. So that means 1 lakh is a revenue for consideration. The remaining is interest component. Now, this interest component of 21,000 need to be recognized in over the period of the credit given. So when we book sales, I will not book sales of 121,000. I will book sales of only 100,000 revenue. The rest 21,000 I will be showing as a interest expense, interest income. That need to be apportioned. So I'm not able to hear you for some reason. Some reason your voice is I'm getting in bits and pieces. I'm not able to hear full sentence of yours. Can you put on chat or so that I can at least? Yeah, significant finance component, more than 12 months. So exactly. So we need to book an interest since it is more than 12 months and it is not a regular component. See, it may not be more than 12 months may not be a standard benchmark. Okay. Let's say, take for example, I am a liquor supplier. Okay. And I sell liquor. I give you advance 2 years ahead for buying a liquor because liquor will take time 2 years. In that scenario, so if it is a standard practice, if it's a standard practice, then you don't need to do significant component accounting, this interest component accounting. But here, I do not give credit generally to everyone. Generally, to all people, I give only cash. To you only, I'm giving a credit. Then there is a significant financing component. If it is my nature of the business that I give credit to everybody for 1 year, 2 years, maybe due to the nature of product, then I don't need to do significant financing component. So it is just like it is just like in Index 115 revenue. When I sell a bundled product, when I sell a bundled product, when I'm selling a car and a warranty, 1 year warranty free. So we agree in a real life there is nothing free. When I'm selling a car and a warranty free, is the warranty actually free or it is embedded in the price of the car? What do you think? I'm selling you a Mercedes and a warranty 1 year free is embedded. Do I need to bifurcate? Let's say I sold Mercedes at 1 crore rupees and hypothetically the cost of warranty is 2 lakh rupees. What do you think? Do I need to show 90 lakhs separately and 2 lakhs separately? Yes, no, maybe. What do you think? What does the standard says? And why it says I should not do that? So what does the standard says? If this is a normal practice used by all players, all businessmen, all manufacturers, all sellers, dealers of the car, that they sell the car and give 1 year warranty free. That's a standard practice. In this scenario, you don't need to segregate. But what if I say, okay, take a car and I'll give you 3 years warranty free, where generally industry gives only 1 year and I'm giving 2 years extra free. Then do I need to segregate 2 years extra? Then I need to segregate extra warranty because then that is more than the standard of followed by the market. So that way, when we do, we need to see this whether this financing I give to everyone. If I give financing to everyone, if I give credit to everyone, then I can do that. If I don't give credit to anyone and I'm giving only specific credit to you, in that scenario, I need to do a financing component bifurcation and I need to record accordingly. Let me just go to the question. So the MD is of the opinion that strategy is one of the 7 elements of framework that is core to all remaining 7 elements. And hardest elements have more importance than soft elements, therefore need to be focused upon. What is your view? When we talk of McKinsey model, MD is of the opinion that strategy is the most important, and then others will come like this. What is important?
So all are important.
Yes. So is one item is important, or all items are important in 7S? All the elements are important. You cannot have the strategy does not say one item is important. All elements are important. So that way we need to understand, just because name look fancy, strategy does not mean. So all these things work together in tandem. Okay. And hard and soft are only different in terms of identification. And we understand hard elements are called hard because they are easier to change. It is easy to change strategy, structure, systems, because it is feasible and easy to identify. You can change them. While skills, staff, style, shared values are not change feasible, because these are corporate culture. They are embedded in you. It is harder to change directly, and it will take long time to change. It is like habits, and old habits die hard. That we need to keep in mind. So we discussed the transaction of Daily Mart, where we talked about max retail, revenue and financing component. So as I again says, when we are having a revenue component, the interest will be significant financing benefit will be taken when you generally have a time value of money concept and you do not give a credit period generally. But if you give a credit period generally, then you don't need to do a significant financing concept. But where you don't give a credit period, at the time you need to ensure that you book the interest accordingly. Now regarding the return option, as I mentioned, when there is a return option to the customer, which is unilateral, that he can come and give any point of time, you don't need to inquire and take permission. In that period, you should not book a revenue till the time that revenue period gets over. So you will defer the revenue, and once the 90 days gets over, in that scenario, you don't need to book it. Understand, this is just like an example of also so let's say I I sell costumes. Okay, I'm selling a costumes. Let's say I sell suits and all, and I can tell them that you can return them if there is some problem. Okay, but a customer takes it and wears that in a party today, and next day he comes and say, I don't like it, I want to return it back. Now it depends on me. It is not unilateral, because you have used the concept product, and the condition is, if you use the product, it is yours, then you cannot change it. And if I can check out the product has been used, then I don't need to defer the revenue, because it is not a unilateral condition that whatever you do, goods will be returned. That's not there. So in this case, you need to keep deferring the revenue. So this advanced level machines, when we discussed, when we buy, what price we need to take. So we need to take the price which is mentioned in CBIC, and we need to include all the transport cost, all the FOB value, cost of insurance, since it was not there. So we will take cost of insurance as 1.125%, since it is not at the time it is not ascertainable. So we need to conclude something. Custom valuation rules need to be read, because when we in exam you get a question, then customs have to be ensured, custom valuation rules, and 1.125 is to be added in absence of data is not yet concluded. See, one thing I'm sure we all agree that when we prepare for IBS exam, you cannot prepare for IBS exam till you are aware of all other topics. So ideally, if I am preparing for all other topics, then indirectly I am preparing for IBS exam. So that way we need to ensure that you when you read the topics, your basics you clarify basics thoroughly, so that you don't get any challenge later on. Now, just a second. Now you need to also focus on FEMA calculations, how much liability you need to pay back. When I am paying in 3 months 10,000 payment to supplier, and I need to hedge the currency. So what should be the computation? How much would be the value? So for a 3 months period, what is the rate? I need to take that rate, and based on that rate, I'll try to ensure you take a 3 months rate. So liability is, let's say, $10,000. In the 3 months time, you need to discount it. You'll make it present value. So 9,921 will be the rate, and 9,921 multiply with what is the currency spot exchange rate. There you will get the answer, and that way apply percentage and get the answer on that. So what kind of rate we should take? We discuss. We always take date of filing bill of entry. That we always take it, and normally in a customs department we have an ICE gate, which on the website exchange rates are published twice a month. First and third Thursday of the month, the rates are published. Based on that, you can always take those rates. The department would be fine with those kind of rates. So regarding this company, we need to ensure that AGM is supposed to be conducted. The done, which is a director, shall hold office till upcoming AGM, and Ambika shall hold office till upcoming AGM. Which statement do you think is correct in this? Alternate director can hold up to what place? Alternate director can hold only up to the place till the director in place in whose place he was appointed is not in India. The moment he returns to India, he has to vacate the office. Okay. And other person, so statement 2 is correct here. Ambika shall hold office till upcoming AGM. The done who was appointed as alternate director cannot hold office till AGM, because if Ambika comes back to India, then she cannot hold the office that way. Now, when there is a penalty levied on for an exchange, which option you think is the right option? So there is an error happened on us by us. We need to get it sorted out. Which option you think is the best? One or two, or both options? All three options are fine. Any one or two option is fine. Which one you think makes sense? who has the power to waive off or who has the power to take action. So here option 2 and option 3 are best. They are the right answers because just a second. Option 2 and 3 are incorrect because it has to be paid within 90 days and he does not get a chance as a land collector. Okay. He gets a like income tax officer, not as a land collector, as an income tax officer. Now this is a broad topics on this. Now any point you have in your mind on this kind of businesses when we talk of small kind 99 store businesses? So let's say if you are running a 99 store business, what innovation you can do in this to increase the sales? What do you think? Because right now I was in actually I'm in Lucknow and it's very remote area in Lucknow, so that's why the network is always it is showing volatile. Yeah. So what do you think could be the if you are if you are a marketing head of an organization like this, how will you increase the sales? Because remember, you cannot give a discount, right? It's already at a very throwaway price, 99 rupees. You cannot give a 50% discount or $1 billion sales. Then how do you think that the sales could be improved, increased? Any idea? So generally these companies do any thoughts? How do they can increase the sales generally? Anyone has a quick thoughts on this? Because the business is tough. Margins are shrinking. How do you think a businessman like can increase the model? So they always do a tie-ups with the corporates. Instagram, so digital marketing is mandatory because media influencers marketing is mandatory. Because these small items, as I mentioned, like gift packs, like on all occasions, they make customized gift packs. And nowadays, this is a huge business, and everybody wants to have like loyalty program and all. So then only you can increase it. So remember, there are ways and means if you want to increase, which needs to be considered. And innovation has to be brought in whatever you do. Then only the business will keep on going. And I know there are certain startups who sell products by making bundle offer. That if you buy A, B, C, D, our price is X, and then the people buy. If you remember, this is also a marketing strategy when you buy. If you ever go and buy something on Amazon and Flipkart, does they say once you buy that product, this item is also bought generally with this item? Does they give you this kind of hint? Let's say when you order a burger and then they say, okay, along with the burger, fries and cold drink is generally preferred, bought by people. Do they give this kind of indications to you? But how that will help you made if you put made in India and made in China separately? How does that it will help you? Okay, are you saying that due to Made in India campaign. This kind of emotionally you can pitch the sale. Is that the logic? Yeah, that can work out. And absolutely that can work out. Absolutely that can work out. And the reason, not an also, yeah, but that can be worked out in some sense that that we are giving.
Yes, sir. I'm not saying to put in all the stores. To one
Fair enough.
store we can buy that. The product based movement of the product we can do.
Correct. So I was, as you rightly said, so we were discussing with somebody on a business model of DSC. What they said is that right now, as you all said, that DSC comes from China, right? So they said that somebody will go to ministry and say that due to Make in India campaign, let us ensure that we only use DSC made in India because our technical information, digital signature can go outside the country. So this can work out. So these are certain things that you need to figure it out how to increase the sales. Now regarding taxation, direct tax is very simple. The direct tax do not have a complication because it is same like company and you put the same number of percentage of taxes. You generally prefer to make company to save taxes. If you make proprietorship or partnership, you pay more taxes. So it is always better to have a corporate structure of business in tax. So generally, direct tax you not face challenge. In indirect tax, theoretically you are all doing fine, but as I mentioned, practically due to huge ITC balloon, the department will always look you with a suspicious way, and they will always think that you are doing something with closing stock, and they will always prefer you to push you to pay in physical, which at times is unfair. At times it is unfair, and I do understand it is not right. When I have a full right to settle my liability with credit, why should I not do that? But the department, just to make their bonuses, make their just to make their target fulfilled, they say, sir, we got this much of collection done. Well, that's a cash collection, which they push unnecessarily. And this is a practical challenge we have seen in a lot of our clients who have a lot of ITC. And the problem is this situation will never get us settle this, because the more you grow, the more stock you will have. The more stock you will have, the more ITC credit you will always have in your balance sheet. So that part we need to be, businessman always keeps in mind, and he keeps a buffer of 10% so cash outflow can happen. That is the big challenge. And as I mentioned, you need to have new flavors. And like, for example, there is a period comes when you start selling. Like, uh, have you heard of Labubu dolls? I've heard Labubu dolls. A craze came in last few months back. Every store started selling that. Have you heard of that kind of dolls? Anybody heard? Not heard? Especially, it became a craze, and the pricing becomes from pricing went from 1,000 rupees to, you can just Google Labubu dolls and then you can see the kind of craze it had. From 100 rupees to 50,000 rupees, you can get that kind of a doll. It's a small toy doll, but then you go anywhere, it starts picking, and and the and the marketing makes things can go skyrocket and viral. And I'll give example. You all have heard of Kunafa chocolates? Kunafa chocolates, you have heard? Kunafa chocolates, you would have heard. Somebody would have heard Kunafa chocolates, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So globally, just search Kunafa chocolates. It's a special kind of chocolate which has a pistachio in it, pista in it. It's a nuts in it, pistachio nuts in it. Somehow, in Middle East and abroad, the demand has become so high that now the pistachios become short. So people are not able to find it's Dubai famous chocolate, right, Jay? It's a famous chocolate of Dubai. But if you just Google it, because of the chocolate becomes so famous that the supply of pistachios become limited. because the pista which we eat pista and dry fruits, all good quality pista were taken by these chocolate companies for making this. And suddenly because of trend on Instagram and all that, okay, it's a Kunafa chocolate, comes in various flavors. In fact, the Galaxy issued, just Google and you can find Galaxy issued limited edition chocolate. No, when can you have a limited edition chocolate? I can make chocolate n number of times. But just to sell because it's a Insta reel was happening that something is a very big chocolate, good chocolate. So that way the demand becomes skyrocketed. And then now it again came to normal. So you need to have the product, you need to put the people on this. So that should be a supply chain management. At the moment demand comes, you need to have sufficient stock to cater the demand. Otherwise, you miss the bus that way. With this, if you have any questions to add, something you like to tell based on your experience, based on your understanding of any items and experience, if anybody would have gone to shop any of the stores, what is your experience? My experience is because I used to travel abroad a lot and I have been visited to many stores, $7 and all, $1.99, or we call it Chinese market. In Middle East, we have this shop where you can get items below one BD because I was in Bahrain, so 1 dinar was the was the store. You can get below 1 dinars. These items are good for short term. You can at least get the value of, we can say value for money, but you can't expect them to run for long. So it could be small toys, batteries. They work for some time and it is get your job done. So a lot of people used to give the gift, bulk gifts to people. School, colleges, kids. That way it can work out. So that's a cost-effective gift where people don't mind. Even if something goes, it's wrong. So you goes to visit the store and did you find every time you find a new item, the product line you see is sometimes new. You will always find sometime a new item coming in, always. But that's the way they innovate. Because they have to innovate, that's why people demands will come. Every time you'll find something new, a new product coming in, always. So that's the industry will go. Absolutely. I would say so. So that's a power, when you find them, it is getting cheap. So you like the quality, you buy a lot. And that's why it happens a lot. That's it. Yeah, some item will always be there. There's a standard bread and butter. Well, they were good. Absolutely, they were good. Just the majority of the skincare companies and all, they don't make their own products. They outsource. So just because they don't have a branding, we don't think. No, I understand. I understand you are always supportive and you always respond. I can understand today only because of internet. And I was thinking it was only issues at my end because I was also at lower due to some urgent travel. I need to move somewhere. That's the issue. Not an issue. We'll connect next time sometime. Deepak sir, if there's nothing there, you can take it over.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Your clear, practical explanation of the case study helped understand how the companies work, and you showed us how important it is to look at every business decision from every perspective, financial, legal, strategic, every point of view. Thank you, sir, for taking today's session. Students, now it's
Deepak said, just to add one thing, since you said legal, I missed one point. I thought to start, just to put one point, friends. Once you all become students, once you all become professionals, remember always consult the professional for something which you are not aware. And I'll give you one example why I'm saying that. You all would have heard the name of beer, Bira 91 Private Limited. The name, you all would have heard this brand, Bira brand. It's a liquor brand, but I need to tell you something very important, which a small blunder caused a misfortune. This brand was becoming top of the town, was selling very perfectly. It was working very huge. This guy, because of success, wanted to come into an IPO. So they wanted to come into public. So the company, which was called Bira 91 Private Limited, had liquor license across the India, all states. They shifted to private from private to public limited, and then that became the downfall. They just remove the word private from their name, and suddenly they were not able to sell any of their stock because of the compliance issue. And which I cannot blame the owner for this. Owner will not understand this. Owner thought, I'm only removing from going from private to public. I am not doing anything wrong. It's just removing the word private. But he forgot and he was not aware. He should not be aware also. The consultant should have known by removing the word private to public, his all licenses, liquor licenses given by government, all got cancelled. Now he need to apply a new license in the name of limited. Now, because of this, all the liquor which he manufactured, which is more than whatever, let's say 100 crore rupees worth liquor, it is lying at bottling plants and he cannot sell it. His inventory got stuck, his money got stuck, he's not able to make the payments to the employees. So the employees put a petition to fire him. So the company which was making a page three news, becoming very successful, one legal loophole, one non-compliance of one missed compliance costed the business heavily. So when we become as a consultant, do not take any chances based on assumption. We need to hire a consultant, hire somebody who knows the law, get the law double checked and get it done. Because you can't expect the owner to know all this. Owner will always rely on the CA that you look into the process. So CA should take a step forward and do that. And I call this, it is like your sixth pani puri. When you go and eat pani puris, he will give you five pani puris out of 20, 30 rupees, whatever the number. But the fun part is to get the sixth pani puri. That is the USP of his business. He sells the extra sukha pani puri. Similarly, in our profession, getting a CA degree is fine. We become CA, but then that sixth pani puri is something which the business expects from you. Go beyond your duty to perform. There you will get actual value. Okay. Okay, Deepak sir. Thank you. So I thought to update this to students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Students, today I want to explain one of the most powerful tools for this exam preparation. This is the annual report of a listed company. Okay. While your study modules teach concepts, annual report shows you how those concepts are applied in real worlds. Okay, this is especially useful for this paper. Okay, why it is important? Okay, annual reports help you to translate theory into business applications. Understand India's in real financial statements. See how governance works in practice. Analyze strategies, KPIs, risk, and future plan of a company. Build the ability to draft advisor level answers. It is very important to note it will help you to build answer like an advisor. Okay, how they are drafting their report. Okay, connect financial performance with your business strategy. Interpret real disclosures. Okay, or typical issues. It is very important and very useful resource to give you flavor of real companies. Okay, In case-based paper like IBS, students who read annual reports, okay, their chances of getting success are higher. Okay, now important section you may refer management discussion and analysis. Okay, here you will find industry structure and opportunity and threats. If industry structure is given, then you may correlate through Porter's 5 forces analysis, opportunity and threat SWOT analysis, risk analysis, segmental performance, okay, business outlook, strategic initiatives. It will help you to understand and to take strategic decisions. How listed companies are taking strategic decisions. Okay, so first thing is it is very important to read management discussion and analysis. Now, I always say corporate governance is very important for this paper. Therefore, it is important to read the sections where corporate governance area is given in the report. For example, it covers composition of board of directors, executive, non-executive, independent, women director, attendance, committee positions, audit committee, CSR committee, related party transactions, okay, code of conduct, remuneration policy, internal financial control, risk management also. Therefore, if you have gone through this area, a number of sections of your Companies Act and rules you can easily correlate with your module. Therefore, whenever you get time, spare some time on annual report. Why it is useful? Help you in answering case studies, governance failure, audit issues, okay, ethical dilemmas. Even it is very important, or it will be very useful for support audit answers. Okay, now annual report will also include Ind AS. Common Ind AS are Ind AS 1 presentation on financial statements, Ind AS 7 it is on cash flow, Ind AS 8 accounting policy, Ind AS 16 PPE, Ind AS 19 employee benefits, Ind AS 21 it's foreign exchange, in Ind AS 23 borrowing cost, Ind AS 24 related party transaction, Ind AS 33 EPS, Ind AS 36 impairment, Ind AS 37 provision and contingencies, Ind AS 38 intangible assets, Ind AS 109 financial instruments, Ind AS 115 revenue, and Ind AS 116 lease. These may be applicable on each and every company. Okay, therefore please try to correlate the specific standards given in the annual report with your academic knowledge. Okay, you may find actual note, disclosures, assumptions, judgments, accounting treatments. It will be very useful. Okay, in addition to this, you may find about market risk, liquidity and credit risk, supply chain risk. Although risk is not part of our area, but you may also find ESG report. There are so many points you may find, but our main area is Ind AS, corporate governance, your audit reports, okay, as well as about industry. Okay, how we have to write report, you will be able to know. Therefore, it is very important to read and understand annual report. Now, make a simple routine. Make a simple routine and try to give some time to annual reports. Now, students, I am discussing with you special examination tips with you. Okay? In examination, use the initial reading time wisely. First, start going through requirement parts. Identify the ones you are most comfortable with. This helps in better time management and boost your confidence. Now, don't ignore MCQ section. Since MCQs are carrying weightage 40% weightage, keep an eye on MCQs. A wrong selection in the beginning can waste your time and affect your ability to attempt paper full. While reading the case study, jot down your points based on your question's requirement. First, go on requirement part. After this, start reading case study and jot down your important notes. Yeah, important parts, or even you may underline keywords. For example, if a question is related with Index 41, mark or note important words, figures, paragraphs that are relevant. This step is extremely useful for drafting your final answer. I always say this is a sketch making. If a question says you to assess competitive environment, and competitive environment, while we are analyzing competitive environment, yeah, assessing competitive environment, it can be assessed only through Porter's five forces model. Okay, then while reading case study, first go to requirement part. Okay, it means we have to assess competitive environment. When we have to assess competitive environment, it means we have to apply Porter's five forces. Note down all five forces in a rough area. Okay, then start reading case study and try to capture keyword, key text, or key scenarios from the main text and correlate with your five forces, or note down the same under five forces. This is sketch making. It will be very helpful for you when you will draft your final answer. If you have good sketch, I am sure you will make very good answer. Okay. If a question is related with Index 41, mark or note down. Okay. Important word, paragraph, so on. Okay. You may need to refer study material during the exam. Okay. Some students create their own index to navigate quickly, but your best index is your mind. Your mind is your best index. Okay, this paper is very easy, but to crack this paper, you have to go with proper planning and proper strategy. Okay, if you have good conceptual understanding, then your mind will work as index in the examination hall. You can easily go to answer of particular question. You can easily correlate answers. You can easily correlate answers through your open book resources with the help of your mind map. Your best mind map is your mind instead of index, although index may also work. Okay, that's also fine, but the best index is your mind. If your concepts are clear, you can scroll and find what you need efficiently. If not, you may end up with wasting your time searching, and even after finding the content, you may not be apply it correctly. In past exam, there are several cases. Students who had studied the concept could refer quickly and apply it. Others spent too much time looking and still couldn't apply it well, affecting the rest of the paper. It is very important. This exam is not about hunting for answers in the module. It's about how well you understand and apply concept. If your conceptual clarity is strong, you will surely do well. And always try to start your answer from left hand side page. This give you the right side page for rough work or miscellaneous calculation. It will be very useful. Try to use this. Always attempt all required questions. Please don't miss. Always attempt all required questions. Make sure you cover all parts of the paper. Even brief answer can fetch your marks. Okay. अब थोड़ा सा मैं इसी को स्टूडेंट्स आपके लिए मैं थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी इसको मैं एक्सप्लेन करूंगा कि जो मैंने अभी आपको एक्सप्लेन किया, जिससे कि थोड़ा सा आपको और बेटर वे में क्लियरिटी हो जाए कि देखिए, अगर एग्जामिनेशन के अंदर आपको केस स्टडी अटेम्प्ट करनी है तो बिल्कुल भी पैनिक करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ठीक है, सबसे पहले आप रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट पर जाइए। ठीक है, आप जाएंगे सबसे पहले रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट पर। रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट में क्या होगा? डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस होंगे और एमसीक्यूज होंगे। जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस हैं, आप देखिए कि डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन, जैसे मैंने अभी एग्जांपल दिया कि डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन में लिखा है कि असेस असेस कॉम्पिटिटिव इन्वायरमेंट। अगर आपको कॉम्पिटिटिव इन्वायरमेंट असेस करना है तो नेचुरली आपको पोर्टर्स 5 फोर्सेस लगाना है। और जब आप पोर्टर 5 फोर्सेस लगाएंगे तो उसके अंदर आपको ये भी पता है कि 5 फोर्सेस है। ठीक है, 5 फोर्सेस है। आप उसको, जैसे अभी मैंने बताया कि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से अगर आप स्टार्ट करें तो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पर थोड़ा स्पेस देके पांचों फोर्सेस लिख लो। बार्गेनिंग पावर ऑफ बायर, बार्गेनिंग पावर ऑफ सप्लायर, सारे पॉइंट्स लिख लो वहां पे। उसके बाद केस स्टडी को आप रीड करना स्टार्ट कीजिए। जैसे जैसे आप रीड करेंगे, अब जब केस स्टडी रीड करेंगे आपको ये क्लियरली पता लग जाएगा कि ये स्पेसिफिक सेक्शन जो है ये पोर्टर 5 फोर्सेस को रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है, या ये स्पेसिफिक पोर्शन जो है ये इस सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड है। तो जब आप उसको रीड करना स्टार्ट करेंगे तो आपको कुछ की इनपुट्स मिलेंगे, कुछ ऐसे इनपुट्स मिलेंगे जो कि बार्गेनिंग पावर से रिलेटेड होंगे, कुछ मिलेंगे बार्गेनिंग पावर ऑफ पहली तो बायर से रिलेटेड था, कुछ मिलेंगे बार्गेनिंग पावर ऑफ सप्लायर से रिलेटेड मिलेंगे, कुछ थ्रेट ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूट से रिलेटेड मिलेंगे। जैसे जैसे मिलते जाए आप उनको अंडरलाइन करो और साथ में उनको नोट करते चले जाओ। ठीक है, शॉर्ट शॉर्ट। अब जब आप फाइनल आंसर ड्राफ्ट करेंगे तो ये जो नोट्स आपने बनाए हैं ना, शॉर्ट नोट्स जो आपने बनाए हैं ना, जो स्केच आपने बनाया ना, ये आपको बहुत यूजफुल होगा। ठीक है। अब लेकिन अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है, नाउ देर इज वन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन इज हाउ शुड वी आंसर द केस स्टडी क्वेश्चन लाइक देयर पैटर्न एंड लेंथ ऑफ आंसर। और इसमें लेंथ क्या होनी चाहिए? ठीक है, लेट अस से दिस क्वेश्चन ऑफ असेस द competitive environment faced by the company, okay, is having worth of 12 marks. Okay, the best way to handle this is by applying Potter 5 forces. Everyone knows each of the 5 forces is a major heading and each carries approximately 2.4 marks. 12 divided by 5, it is equal to 2.4. It means each force is having worth around 2 or 3 marks. Then you have to write at least 2 or 3 points in each force. Okay, to write a complete and high scoring answer for each force, write at least 2 or 3 points and don't forget to give conclusion. If a question is related with any strategic decision, wherever need any advice, recommendation, conclusion, okay, you have to give proper conclusion. I am sure you will get full marks. Okay, तो मैंने बताया कि अगर एक क्वेश्चन 12 नंबर का है, 12 नंबर अगर पोर्टर 5 फोर्सेस का यही क्वेश्चन अगर 12 नंबर का है, उसके 5 पॉइंट बनते हैं, तो 12 डिवाइड बाय 5 यानी कि 2.4। एक एक फोर्स की जो वैल्यू है वो 2.4 है, तो लेकिन पॉइंट्स में मार्किंग नहीं होती, तो इसलिए या तो 2 मार्क्स की फोर्स होगी या 3 मार्क्स की होगी। तो इसलिए हर फोर्स के अंदर 2 या 3 पॉइंट्स आपको लिखने जरूरी हैं। अब एक स्टूडेंट ने क्या किया, एक स्टूडेंट ने ऐसे लिखा कि फर्स्ट फोर्स के अंदर पूरा पन्ना भर दिया, सेकंड में फुल पेज, और उसने थर्ड फोर्थ और फिफ्थ फोर्स पर आते हुए उसने सिर्फ एक एक लाइन का आंसर लिखा, तो उसको मार्क्स जो मिलेंगे ना वो एक एक लाइन के अकॉर्डिंग ही मिलेंगे। पहली दो फोर्स में उसको पूरे 2 नंबर 3 नंबर, यानी कि पहली दो फोर्स में अगर उसने लिखा है ढंग से तो उसको पूरे 5 नंबर मिल जाएंगे। लेकिन जब वो थर्ड फोर्थ और फिफ्थ फोर्स का आंसर लिखेगा, वेन एवर ही जो है अगर वो उसके अंदर थर्ड फोर्थ और फिफ्थ फोर्थ का आंसर लिखेगा और वो कंप्लीट आंसर नहीं लिखेगा, तो वहां पे उसको एक एक नंबर ही मिलेगा। ठीक है, क्योंकि उसके पास टाइम ही नहीं अब इतना बचा, क्योंकि उन्होंने पहली दो फोर्स में ज्यादा टाइम लगा दिया। तो इसलिए दो 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 और तीन, 5 6 7, मैक्सिमम उसको 7 8 से ज्यादा नंबर नहीं मिलेंगे अगर 12 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है तो। ठीक है, तो इसलिए प्लीज इस बात को ध्यान रखना है आपको। ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन इस तरीके से आपने डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन का आंसर लिखना है। दिस इज द वे हाउ यू हैव टू राइट द आंसर ऑफ डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन। ओके, बट व्हाट अबाउट एमसीक्यूज? एमसीक्यूज को कैसे करें, कैसे हैंडल करें एमसीक्यूज को? देयर मे बी डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ एमसीक्यूज। यू मे गेट वन ऑप्शन है एमसीक्यूज, मल्टीपल ऑप्शन है एमसीक्यूज, नॉट टाइप ऑफ एमसीक्यूज। ओके, कैसे करें, मतलब एमसीक्यू को सोल्व करने की क्या स्ट्रेटेजी होनी चाहिए? सबसे पहले आप ध्यान रखिए, अगेन मैं वही कह रहा हूं कि यू मस्ट हैव बेसिक कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग। If you have conceptual understanding, then you can easily eliminate incorrect options. First, eliminate incorrect options. There are 4 options. Okay. Even there may be 4 statements, out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, or yeah, or all 4s may be correct or incorrect. Apply concepts and try to eliminate incorrect options, wrong options. Note down, this is wrong option, or delete. Then it will be very easier for you to find actual correct options. Use elimination rule. आप इलिमिनेशन रूल को यूज कीजिए और आप जो इनकरेक्ट ऑप्शन है पहले उसको डिलीट कर दो, उसके बाद जो बाकी 2 ऑप्शन बचेंगी, अब गेम उसके ऊपर आता है. तो अब नाउ यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट बेस्ट ऑप्शन, मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट ऑप्शन. ओके, देन if you have to select most appropriate option, then which one is best, which one is most appropriate? In this case, you have to apply your conceptual understanding. Then go to open book resource, apply, read the concept, refer the concept, then apply. This is the way to handle MCQs. अगर आपके पास जो है 4 ऑप्शन है, 4 में से 2 इलिमिनेट हो रहे हैं, इलिमिनेट कर दो. बाकी 2 में से ढूंढना है कि कौन सा बेस्ट है. वो तभी कर पाओगे अगर आपने उस कॉन्सेप्ट को पढ़ा है. ठीक है, पढ़ा है तभी वहां पे पहुंच पाओगे ओपन बुक रिसोर्स पे. ठीक है, अगर मान लो सपोज मैं पढ़ के ही नहीं गया, ठीक है, और एग्जाम में पहले तो मैं ये देख, मान लो सपोज मैं पढ़ के ही नहीं गया, एग्जाम देने के लिए चला गया, लेकिन मैंने तैयारी नहीं की. अब पहली तो चीज है, मुझे पता ही नहीं लगेगा कि कौन से सब्जेक्ट से आया ये क्वेश्चन. सब पता लग गया कि कौन से सब्जेक्ट से आया, तो ये नहीं पता लगेगा कि कौन से चैप्टर से है. ये भी पता लग गया कि कौन से चैप्टर से है, तो उसके बाद कहां पे प्रॉब्लम आएगी? उसके बाद कहां पे प्रॉब्लम आएगी कि उस कॉन्सेप्ट को समझ के अप्लाई करना. अब समझ के अप्लाई भी कर लिया, या तो गलत करोगे या सही करोगे. ठीक है, अगर सही भी कर दिया तो सबसे बड़ा क्या नुकसान है? आपका टाइम, आपका टाइम किल हो जाएगा. तो इसलिए इसलिए ये जो ओपन बुक रिसोर्सेज है ना, इनका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि आपने किताब में से खोला और वहां से आंसर ढूंढा और चिपका के लिख दिया. नहीं, अगर ढूंढ के चिपका के लिखने में भी आपको टाइम लगेगा. ठीक है, तो इसलिए मैं आपको समझा रहा हूं कि कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी तभी आप ओपन बुक रिसोर्सेज का अच्छे से यूज कर सकते हो. इफ यू हैव गुड कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ओनली देन यू कैन यूज open book resources in very well manner. Otherwise this will kill your time in examination and you won't be able to crack your examination fully. Okay. There is one query in my chat box, and it is what should be my focus in last 1.5 days before IBS exam. Students, in the last 1.5 days before the exam, focus on revising key concepts from your strong area, from your core subjects. Okay, like financial reporting, auditing, or taxation. यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक बात और बताना चाहूंगा. यहाँ पे इस सिचुएशन के अंदर क्या है कि एक बच्चों को ये बहुत डाउट आता है कि हम ग्रुप 2 का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं. मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं, मैं हर सेशन में ये रिपीट करता हूं. हम ग्रुप 2 का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, और क्या मेरे को ग्रुप 1 के सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने चाहिए? क्या ग्रुप मेरे को स्पॉम पढ़ना चाहिए या नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए? कि मेरे रिसोर्सेज क्या क्या होने चाहिए, मेरे को तैयारी कैसे करनी है? ठीक है, तो यहां पे क्या कर सकते हैं आप? Even if you are focusing on group 2, it's a good idea to pick 1 or 2 paper from group 1. आप एक या दो पेपर ग्रुप 1 से सेलेक्ट कर लो एंड प्रिपेयर देम थोरोली, स्पेशली those that can significantly help you in paper 6, financial reporting. A strong grip on FR will not only help you to score well in IBS but also prove immensely useful in your professional life after becoming a CA. अगर आप FR को ढंग से करते हो, आप उसका एक एक स्टैंडर्ड ढंग से पढ़ते हो, वो आपको यहां भी काम आएगा, आईबीएस का पेपर क्लियर करने में भी, और बाद में आपकी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में भी काम आएगा, आपका इंटरव्यू क्लियर करने में भी आपको हेल्पफुल होगा। आप ये क्यों सोचते हो कि आपको 2 एग्जाम देकर आईबीएस का पेपर क्लियर हो जाएगा? आप सोचो आपको 2 नहीं देने, आपको 4 एग्जाम देने हैं। आप अपनी मेंटेलिटी को चेंज करो। यू हैव टू चेंज योर मेंटेलिटी। सब्जेक्ट लाइक AFM sharpens your decision making skills in the area of capital budgeting, risk management, valuation. Okay, if you see past trend, in past examination, there are a number of questions from forex area. Forex area is very, very important from AFM, because the question from this area can be easily connected. If a company is having international operations, then it is sure they may ask you questions on hedging. ट्राई आप सोचो कि किस तरीके से इंटीग्रेशन हो सकता है केस स्टडी के अंदर। अगर किसी कंपनी का इंटरनेशनली ऑपरेशन है, या तो फेमा के साथ कनेक्शन बन सकता है या उसका हेजिंग का क्वेश्चन के साथ कनेक्शन बन सकता है। अगर मशीनरी इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो आपका कस्टम से भी कनेक्शन बन सकता है। तो इस तरीके से आप सोचो, आप ऐसे टॉपिकों को तो आपने मिस करना ही नहीं है। पास्ट ट्रेंड देखो आप, एग्जाम किस तरीके से आ रहा है। सिमिलरली, if you have good practical experience, you may go ahead with auditing also. But again, I am saying you have to identify 1 or 2 subject at least from group 1 also, in addition to group 2 subjects. What about corporate law? Corporate law, again, I am saying corporate governance is very, very important, as I have told you earlier. Most case studies involving body corporates can be linked with relevant provisions of the Companies Act. If the company is listed, then SEBI LODR regulations become highly relevant. Okay. In past examination, in past September 2025 examination, there was one descriptive question from FEMA. It was from I think around 5 marks question. Okay. Therefore, don't ignore SPOM portion also. If see past trend of set A and set B, there are around 36 to 40 marks questions from this area. अब होता क्या है, कई बार मेरे पास स्टूडेंट्स का फोन आता है, सर ये तैयारी कैसे करें, और तो मैं उनसे सबसे पहले पूछता हूं कि आपने सेट ए और बी कैसे किया। सर वो सेट ए और बी जो था हमने उसको पास कर लिया, लेकिन अभी क्या है ना, थोड़ा सा कॉन्सेप्ट को रिवाइज करने में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। क्यों? क्योंकि सेट ए बी तो क्लियर कर लिया उन्होंने, ठीक है, लेकिन अब उसका एप्लीकेशन आईबीएस में भी यूज करना है, ठीक है। तो अब वो कैसे करें उसको? तो अब उसको यूज, अब आपको देखना होगा कि कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस आपको अच्छे से मालूम होना चाहिए, ठीक है। अगर आप शुरू में डायरेक्टर के जो चैप्टर्स हैं कॉर्पोरेट लॉ के अंदर, अगर आप ढंग से उसको करके जाओगे, कई बार तो जो टेस्ट योर नॉलेज है वहां से भी कई बार एग्जाम के अंदर क्वेश्चंस आए हुए हैं, वहां से पे जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स दी हुई हैं उनके बेसिस पे भी क्वेश्चंस आए हुए हैं। लेकिन आपको एटलीस्ट पता तो होना चाहिए कि कौन सी चीज कहां पे है, ठीक है। एटलीस्ट यू मस्ट हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग। ओके, जब तक नहीं होगी कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग ढंग से तो आप नहीं कर पाओगे। कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग जरूरी है, आपको पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है। इसी तरीके से रिगार्डिंग सेट बी, सेट बी में क्या है, सेट बी में काफी सारे मॉडल्स हैं, बिजनेस मॉडल्स हैं, और ये पेपर जो है मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी केस स्टडी विद स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट है। तो एटलीस्ट you must have understanding of strategic models like Porter 5 forces, McKinsey 7S, value chain, Ironman's Z score, supply chain management, triple bottom line, balanced scorecard. Okay, these models are frequently tested in your questions. In past examination, there was one question from Porter 5 forces. I think it was having worth of 4 or 5 marks, and one question was from triple bottom line. In last to last examination, one question was based on supply chain management. Okay, therefore, please don't ignore set B also. Try to make mind map of business models. It will be very useful for you in the examination. Mind map means a structure of key components of various models. it it will be very useful. अगर आपने माइंड मैप बना लिया ना, माइंड मैप का मतलब क्या है कि कोई कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ा, उसको पढ़ के उसके जो की कंपोनेंट्स हैं उससे आपने एक स्ट्रक्चर तैयार कर लिया कि जिससे कि आपको इजीली कोरिलेट हो जाए, आपको पता लग जाए। पोर्टर 5 फोर्सेस है, 5 फोर्सेस का एक डायग्राम बना लिया, उसको ले गए एग्जाम में खोला, अगर कोई फोर्स भूल रहे हैं तो वहीं पे जाके उसको अप्लाई कर लिया इजीली, ठीक है। तो माइंड मैप जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। I am saying for this paper you don't need to study every subject in very detailed manner, but you should have at least basic understanding of all areas. Why? Because during the exam you may be able to identify relevant concept, apply it correctly, and use your case study understanding and open book material. However, this approach is not substitute for conceptual clarity. For best result, build your foundation before the exam. Don't rely on searching and referencing under the time of pressure. एग्जाम के अंदर क्या होता है ना, प्रेशर होता है, ठीक है। अब आप सोचोगे कि ओपन बुक रिसोर्सेज हैं तो हम ढूंढ ढूंढ के आंसर लिख लेंगे, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, ठीक है। वो आपका प्रेशर और क्रिएट करेगा अगर आपका ढूंढने का सिस्टम शुरू हो जाएगा तो। वो ढूंढना आपका तभी सक्सेसफुल होगा। मैं फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूं, अगर आपने उस चीज को मॉड्यूल से 1 बार 2 बार पहले से पढ़ा है तभी आप ढूंढ के इजीली कोरिलेट करके अप्लाई कर सकते हो, अदरवाइज नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है ना। आपको ये समझना होगा कि ओपन बुक रिसोर्सेज का मतलब ये नहीं है कि बार बार कि कहीं से भी मतलब ढूंढ के आंसर लिखने, ऐसा नहीं है। हाँ, अगर आपको बेस्ट कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, बेस्ट का मतलब बेसिकली एक लेवल की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, देन यू कैन इजीली अप्लाई। अब नाउ देयर इज क्वेश्चन कि हम कौन सी बुक्स को कैरी करें एग्जाम में। व्हाट आर द बुक्स वी नीड टू टेक टू एग्जामिनेशन हॉल ड्यूरिंग द आईबीएस? इट्स अ कॉमन क्वेश्चन, ओके। Feel free to refer any study material you are comfortable with. ओके, आप कोई भी मटेरियल ले जाओ, ठीक है। ओपन बुक का मतलब तो यही होता है, लेकिन it is advisable, it is my personal advice to carry the material that forms the foundation of your preparation. जिस मॉड्यूल से आपने तैयारी की है, जिस बुक से आपने तैयारी की है, आप उसको लेके जाओ ना। आप क्यों सब कुछ उठा के लेके जा रहे हो? आप वो मॉड्यूल लेके जाओ जो आपकी प्रिपरेशन का बेसिस है, वो आपको बहुत यूजफुल करेगा। इन एडिशन, एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर, any mind map chart you have created to simplify concepts of for Ind AS, SEBI, LODR, FEMA, corporate governance, or any strategic model, bring all those mind maps. Best mind map is your mind. Okay, and it will work only when you have conceptual understanding. I'm repeating again and again, conceptual understanding, because I want you to gain conceptual understanding, because the best mind map is the one prepared by you. अगर आपने खुद से बनाया ना माइंड मैप, तो आपको वो कागज का पेपर भी ले जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि वो आपके माइंड में सेट हो गया. एक बार आपने एक चीज को एक बार दो बार पढ़ लिया और उसके बाद आपने कॉपी पे पेन से लिख लिया ना, तो वो आपके माइंड में सेट हो गया. लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे पास कॉल आता है, स्टूडेंट्स कहते हैं, मैं कई बार बात करता हूँ स्टूडेंट से, तो वो बोलते हैं, मैंने कहा आपने क्वेश्चन किया था क्या? हाँ जी किया था. कैसे किया था? सर मैंने कैलकुलेटर में किया था, उसके बाद उसको टिक किया था, मॉड्यूल में टिक कर लिया था. इसका मतलब तो यह है कि आपने क्वेश्चंस की ही ऑडिटिंग कर दी. आपको यू हैव टू सॉल्व ईच एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन ऑन योर नोटबुक. यहां तक कि कुछ बच्चे क्या करते हैं, टैब पे सॉल्व करते हैं. क्या आपको एग्जाम में टैब दिया जा रहा है कि आप उसके ऊपर सॉल्व कर रहे हैं? नहीं, आपको एग्जामिनेशन कंडीशन के अंदर पेन और पेपर दिया जा रहा है, तो आप पेन और पेपर पे क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करो. ठीक है, ठीक है. तो ये छोटी छोटी सी चीजें होती हैं जिनकी आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी है. ये छोटी छोटी सी चीजें जो है आपका स्कोर जो है बढ़ाने में बहुत हेल्प करेगी. ठीक है. सो take only those material that help you apply what you have already understood. जो आपको पता है, again I am repeating, take only those material that helps you apply what you have already understood. यानी कि जो आपको कॉन्सेप्ट पता है आप उसको अप्लाई कर पाओ, आप वो ही मटेरियल लेके जाओ. अब जो कॉन्सेप्ट पता ही नहीं है, पढ़ी ही नहीं है, उसको आप अप्लाई करना चाहोगे तो कर ही नहीं पाओगे. कर भी लिया तो दूसरे पेपर पूरा नहीं होगा. ओके. स्टूडेंट्स, एनी अदर कोई स्पेसिफिक क्वेरी? This query is in my chat box. I have not studied the self-paced module in detail. What should I do now? I sincerely request all of you to take them seriously. They are asking around 36 marks questions from this portion. ओके. आप पास्ट ट्रेंड देख सकते हैं और उस ट्रेंड के अकॉर्डिंग जो है अराउंड 30% जो पेपर है वो यहां से आ रहा है. तो ये पोर्शन भी इक्वली रिलीवेंट है. और मैंने जैसे ऑलरेडी मैं बता चुका हूं कि इन टुडेज कॉन्टेक्स्ट corporate governance is very very important. Similarly, fundamental basic strategic models are very very important. Okay. There is one more query. Are candidates permitted to carry 2 or 3 hard copy of annual reports? Students, since this is a open book examination, you may carry any type of material along with you. Okay. This is open book examination, fully open book examination. You may carry any type of resources in your examination hall. Any other? Okay, then. Thank you, students, for being part of today's session and asking such wonderful questions. Your active participation made the session even better. मेरी आपसे एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्रैक्टिस 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 आप प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, जितना आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे आप उतना स्कोर गेन करेंगे, ठीक है ना? आई encourage you to keep learning and practice how to connect different subject, just like I told you today. ओके, बताया ना कि किस तरीके से किस तरीके से अगर एक कंपनी का एमएनसी ऑपरेशन है तो उस केस में हेजिंग का क्वेश्चन भी कनेक्ट हो सकता है और फेमा भी कनेक्ट हो सकता है और उधर से कस्टम भी कनेक्ट हो सकता है. तो that's what the integrated business solution paper is all about. Wishing you all the best for your studies and your exam. Once again, thank you everyone, and thank you Sumit Dadda sir for taking today's session. Thank
Thank
you
you, sir.
everyone.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Welcome. Session over.